my baby doll. What's up with you and me? You can be my baby doll. As the moon was reflecting off her golden skin, my heart pumping with the passion that I felt within. Our clothes wet with sweat. We dancing closer than you can get. Up in the club before we had the jet. I was out in Illinois, shorty came to the show. Looking so damn fine that I had to let her.
Is an ordinary family from Lincolnshire actually related to the Duke of Marlborough? At the very least, they get an invite to tea from Earl Spencer in So You Think You're Royal tonight at 9. Then at 10, the curtain goes up on Badger or Bust.
Ship is talking mutiny.
The creators of The Apprentice bring high stakes to the high seas.
I'm not buying it. I'm rewarding you.
Pirate Master. Sunday at 8 and every 15 minutes via Multistart on Sky One.
You know, it helps to be posh around here, unless you own a string of polo ponies or maybe half of Yorkshire. But you don't have to be posh to be privileged. All you need is 4 years no claims, and Privilege will guarantee to beat your renewal quote. So for cheaper car insurance, call Privilege on 0800 051 1080. Or, if you're really posh, have your butler do it. Call Privilege now on 0800 051 1080 or buy online at privilege.com.
Here at Greenhill Finance, we've helped people who've defaulted on previous loans, have been late with their credit card payments, have been declined elsewhere, or don't believe they have sufficient equity in their property. We're here to help.
Hello, Greenhill Finance. How can I help you?
A call to Greenhill Finance can change things for the better. We can only tell you how good our service is and invite you to try it.
Please don't prejudge your credit rating, because Greenhill Finance won't.
We can help self-employed people who do not have accounts or even an accountant.
We don't rely on a credit search. You will be treated as individuals with individual circumstances.
We always try to provide a fast, efficient service in a plain and simple language we can both understand.
Because of your circumstances, you may believe you have a problem. This may not be a problem at all at Greenhill Finance.
If you're a homeowner or mortgage payer, call now on 0800 916 4141 or apply online at greenhillfinance.co.uk.
This week on the History Channel, we hear the voices of the Falklands conflict.
It was petrifying, and I remember trying to sleep, and every time a bomb went off, actually physically lifting.
It felt very, very cold-blooded to go in and just drop bombs on people.
It's quite strange being back, because it really doesn't hold any horrors for me.
Falklands Week. All this week on the History Channel.
Have you taken it yet? Hurry up. What are you doing? Oh, no.
Short break travel insurance from the Post Office. Sponsors of the world of Sky Travel.
An erupting volcano is an extraordinary and horrifying event. Rivers of molten rock, lava bombs, and unstoppable force. Welcome to the world of the volcanologist. Every year, the Earth explodes with over 60 volcanic eruptions. Some last mere minutes, others rage on for years. And whether you live in the shadow of one of these prehistoric giants or thousands of miles away, you're never completely beyond their reach. From the lava flows that obliterate everything in their path to toxic smog and ash carried high into the Earth's atmosphere, a volcano's wrath can reach to the farthest corners of the globe. In ancient Rome, Vulcan was the god of fire. As he struck his giant anvil with his mighty hammer, he sent sparks flying across the universe.
The highest skyline, which is the highest place we can actually dip a molten lava sample from the tube.
Today, the men and women who study fiery volcanic eruptions are called volcanologists in his honor. Their job is to try and predict where and when volcanic disasters will strike, where fire from the Earth's core may next threaten humankind.
Look at that, the whole thing is blasting apart.
Mount Etna on Sicily is the perfect living laboratory for volcanologists.
My God, Boris. There we go, baby! Feel the heat! Etna is not only the most active volcano of Europe, it's one of the most active of the world.
Dr. Boris Bekny of the University of Catania has dedicated the past 3 years of his career to studying Mount Etna.
For the moment, yes. It's been like this last year. The work of volcanology is to document the evolution of volcanoes, especially active volcanoes. Yeah, that's going to be a smoke ring. Every time coming up here is fulfilling a dream that I had since a child. And that became something burning every time I read about an eruption of Etna in the newspapers in Germany. And now I'm here since 3 years, and I still struggle to understand that I'm here. So it's apart from the scientific interest, it's a lot of passion, a lot of curiosity, and a lot of fulfilling this dream of a child.
Mount Etna has been active for thousands of years. During these millennia, eruptions have often appeared as spectacular displays in the night sky. It's easy to be distracted by Etna's spectacular fireworks and to forget the real danger the volcano represents to the surrounding communities. Despite the risks, Etna's neighbors have simply learned to ignore the volcano.
The big problem of Etna is that in spite of the long history of very frequent and often damaging eruptions, there is a very big city lying at its foot.
Boris's concern is well-founded. The flanks of Etna are home to over 1 million people. The danger to property and citizens is ever present.
This is what remains of one of about 250 buildings that were destroyed by the big lava flow of the 1981 eruption. This flow, luckily, ran down right between two villages, and yet it took with it about 250 buildings. So that was surely the most dramatic eruption on Etna in recent decades.
As dusk settles over Mount Etna, Boris leads a group on a high-risk expedition. The goal, to witness a spectacular summit eruption at night. The team waits for an event that could happen at any time and without warning. Suddenly, a plume of fire explodes in front of them. The group is caught off guard by the intensity of the eruption and find themselves in the direct line of fire. The team escapes to safety. But Boris knows this is but a small taste of what could happen. Things will be disastrous if a larger, unexpected eruption occurs near the populated area.
If an eruption were to break out on the southern flank at an elevation of, say, 700, 800 meters, the lava would be immediately in densely inhabited areas, and there would be no way of diverting a lava flow because it would be moved from one inhabited area to another inhabited area. It would cause a big disaster, probably of unprecedented dimensions.
Volcanologists' worst fears were realized on the Caribbean island of Montserrat in 1997. Here, many inhabitants did not heed the warnings and were trapped in the middle of the eruption. Superheated ash flows destroyed the city of Plymouth, leaving thousands homeless, 7 dead and 19 missing and presumed dead.
You can see how heavy a cloud it is. It's actually, you can hear it, rocks hitting on the roof. Lightning and thunder here. We're at the height of the
The
day.
volcanic debris raining down on the streets of Plymouth turned day into night.
It's high noon. Trapped in here. I'm just letting it roll because I just don't know what's going on here. It's starting to get light. Life in Montserrat. The way the Caribbean used to be. Yeah, about 20,000 years ago.
The volcanologists' concerns are not just limited to the threat in the immediate area around the volcano. A new one has emerged, one that reaches into the skies we fly. Every day, all over the world, aircraft carry thousands of passengers over volcanoes capable of sudden explosive eruptions. Ash plumes thrown up into the atmosphere are a very real danger to air traffic. Airborne ash is impervious to radar, damages flight control systems, and causes jet engines to fail. In 1989, a 747 full of passengers encountered the ash plume from an eruption of Mount Redoubt, Alaska. As shown in this animated recreation, the jet entered the ash from the eruption, blasting the cockpit windows. The jet banks to the left to avoid the ash plume. Seconds later, all 4 engines quit. Without power, the 747 began to glide to the rugged mountains below. After nearly 8 minutes and a drop of over 3,600 meters, the crew was able to restart the engines barely 4,000 meters from the ground. They landed safely in Anchorage, narrowly averting disaster.
Have you taken it yet?
Short break travel insurance from the post office.
Your knee bone connected to your ankle bone. Your ankle bone connected to your leg bone. Your leg bone connected to the knee bone. Your knee bone connected to your thigh bone. Your thigh bone connected to your hip bone. Your hip bone connected to your backbone. Backbone connected to your shoulder bone. The shoulder bone connected to the neck bone. The neck bone connected to your head bone.
The Best of Bone starts Wednesday from 9, Sky 3. Fed up with stubbly legs? Then try the new Braun Silk Appeal. Its highly efficient tweezer system gently removes hair from the root for weeks of silky smooth skin. Start enjoying the feeling of freedom today with the new Silk Appeal from Braun.
I was round here for a cuppa with Mum the other week, and we were talking property prices. All Mum's money's tied up in this house. She couldn't believe how much it had gone up. She thought it was daft, that it was worth all that money, yet she still didn't have the cash to enjoy life a bit now she's retired. I told her to talk to the Pru. They've a flexible way to turn the value of your house into good, hard cash. It can make life a bit more comfortable, I said. And don't worry, you won't have to move. But it'll cut down your inheritance, she said. Life is for living, Mum, I said.
If you're a homeowner over 60, call 0800 345 7008 for your free, no-obligation information pack.
So now she's in Oz, visiting my brother. Oh, I don't mind being left behind. But 3 weeks with Snowdrop.
Call 0800 345 7008. It's all part of the plan from the Pru.
When you enjoy life, you want to enjoy it to the full. And Optical Express Laser Vision Correction helps you do exactly that from only £395 per eye. Optical Express, one of Europe's leading eye care specialists, provide only experienced ophthalmic surgeons with a combined experience of over 500,000 procedures carried out worldwide. Expert aftercare is included in the price and interest-free credit is available. For your free information pack or to arrange a free consultation, just call Optical Express today on 08702 20 20 20 for laser vision correction from only £395 per eye. Optical Express. Vision for life.
Dave's got 2 cars and the cost of 2 car insurance policies. With Admiral Multicar, he can insure both cars in his house on one policy. And he could save over £200.
£200?
Yes, and the savings starts straight away.
Wow, that was easy. And I saved £200.
That's Admiral Multicar, saving you time and money.
See how much you could save with Admiral Multicar.
Give us a call.
What the hell is going on here?
Action stations.
Jack. Hello, Jack.
Wow. We can say that again.
NASA never tried this.
Trust me.
Have you taken it yet?
Short break travel insurance from the post office.
The volcanologists' only hope of minimizing future volcanic disasters is through their ability to predict when and where eruptions will occur. But is this possible? One of the most concerted efforts to answer this question is being made on the Big Island of Hawaii, site of the most active volcano in the world, Kilauea. For the people who choose to live on this island built of fire, history shows there is little they can do to fight a volcano. They tried once. In 1935, a squadron of US Air Force biplanes was used in a desperate attempt to redirect the rivers of lava.
An air squadron attacks a volcano. In Hawaii, US Army bombers fly to smash the menace of the fire mountain. Mauna Loa, explosive giant of the Pacific, is in eruption. A city threatened by a stream of flaming lava. So they bomb the river of fire.
But even bombs proved futile against the volcano. The lava flowed on.
Very nice banding in this crack.
Today, the job of monitoring and predicting eruptions on Kilauea lie with 20 scientists and volunteers who have come from all over the world for the rare experience of working on an active volcano.
These cracks weren't
talked about in the literature almost anywhere is still got a little bit of melt, pools of melt inside of it, and that's oxidation.
Our mandate is to try to anticipate when eruptions are going to occur, where they might occur, how large they might be, and then to warn the populace through the civil defense and the media that these events are taking place. Now, as a very important part of that, we have to learn more about the volcanoes in order to improve our ability to understand why and when they're going to erupt. So our job involves a lot of research, and sometimes we go in strange paths.
The Hamakipahoi here. This was one single flow that came down a small gully in February of 1990 and then out into the ocean. This is the first lava flow that got close to Kalapana, and this is when we knew we were in trouble. Behind us about a half a mile, we reached the edge of Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, and outside the park boundary 10 years ago were actually 2 or 3 small Hawaiian communities. And all of these communities now are completely inundated by lava flows.
In 1990, Ken's greatest fear was realized. Lava swept down into the Hawaiian village of Kalapana. It's a time deeply etched in the residents' memories. Nothing could withstand the heat. This was natural disaster on a grand scale. Only 6 of 187 homes were left standing.
In some places, the lava is piled up to over 100 feet thick. The town of Kalapana, which was the largest of these communities and was overrun in 1990, is under about 50 or 60 feet of lava now.
Look at this, it doesn't even look like the same country. Nothing matches the map.
The residents are gone. They have left this barren wasteland to the scientists. Today, their job is to study the volcano and its surrounding area to find ways to prevent future disasters. A lava tube is created when massive amounts of lava flow continuously over the same ground for days. Over time, the lava forms a channel. And before long, a crust forms, insulating the flow like a thermal blanket. The lava carves its way down, eventually forming a tunnel over 20 feet deep. Here in the lava tube, the temperature remains a constant 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit or 1,000 degrees Celsius, quickly and efficiently delivering the lava to the ocean. Unfortunately, to study lava tubes, you have to stand right on top of the thin crust itself.
Nasty stuff when it gets around your ankles. Better to walk on the channel, even if it is hollow.
The climb is worth the effort. The reward, one of the most amazing geological features on the planet, a skylight, a window into the volcano itself. Stalactites are formed as the intense heat melts the roof of the tube.
There's a collapse area, and there's probably a view into the molten lava in the tube through that gap. Yeah, a little bit of a view in there. It's a skylight.
A thin mantle of rock is all that keeps them from plunging into the furnace below.
Well, you can see down in, but we can't see any lava in this one. This is pretty thin across here. Yeah, it's pretty thin everywhere. If you don't mind, I'd like to get off. Yeah, you're standing right over the channel right now, though. Oh, everything you're walking over has a big... yeah, it's completely hollow. And a big hole underneath. Yeah, well, one of the dangers of walking on this.
The flanks of Kilauea provide scientists like Ken and Steve with ideal opportunities to get close to the action. Huge floodplains of hot lava tell of a land under siege, and since 1912, when the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory opened, scientific investigation and monitoring has never let up.
Eruption started in 1983. This was the event that was founding from 1983 to 86.
Sometimes field researchers get more action than they bargain for. A scientist captures on video the speed at which a safe vantage point can quickly become a dangerous spot when a lava flow breaks out of a channel.
The tube has essentially stopped. We gotta get out of here. Don't you think? Yeah. Come on. You want to take this? No. Hey, Bert. Get out of here.
On this occasion, the scientists made a fortunate but very narrow escape.
The current perception of Kilauea, and the one that people always have, is that Kilauea is just a drive-to volcano. You can come to it, be perfectly safe, see the color, feel the heat, and go away with a lifetime experience. Well, that's true. But every now and then it does explode violently.
As with every volcano, investigation of its explosive history can tell what the future holds, and on Kilauea, it doesn't look good.
We've concluded that there was a period of explosive activity lasting about 300 years, starting very soon after the caldera formed in about 1500 AD, and eventually concluding in 1790 AD with a very famous and tragic eruption in which a large number of Hawaiians were killed.
The clues are scattered throughout the lava fields, subtle hints to a sinister past.
This block, which weighs about 10 tons or so, was thrown here from Halemaumau, about 500 meters or more away in 1924. What this block tells us is that these explosions can be very powerful, because when you throw 10 tons, 500 meters, this is indicating a lot about the potential strength of the volcano. And so this indicates that future explosions could be very large and potentially dangerous.
Kilauea is a ticking time bomb. It's not so much a matter of if, but rather when it will blow. Hawaii was born of fire. About 2,000 years ago, beneath the ocean floor, a hole in the Earth's crust was formed when superheated liquid rock or magma burned its way up through the seabed. Under intense pressure, the magma burst through the newly created vent and out into the sea. Kilauea was born.
Hawaii is above a hot spot that is coming up from deep within the Earth, probably several hundred kilometers or so, and is melting rock along the way, and then this rock then erupts at the ground surface.
Over several 100,000 years, the hotspot erupted repeatedly with seemingly endless flows of liquid lava from the red-hot center of the Earth, piling up broad underwater mountains that finally rose above the ocean. But over millions of years, the sea floor crept in a northwesterly direction at a rate of 3 inches per year. That, over vast eons of time, is the fiery origin of the 2,400-kilometer-long Hawaiian island chain that stretches north and west towards Japan. Some 32 kilometers to the southeast of the Big Island, the hotspot is spawning a sister volcano for Kilauea. So far, Lauihi has 1,000 meters to go before reaching sea level, which scientists are projecting will be in 50,000 to 100,000 years. Today, Kilauea and Mauna Loa are still growing. From seafloor to summit, Mauna Loa is 9,000 meters or 30,000 feet in height, and what's more, its sheer weight has depressed the seafloor another 8,000 meters or 26,000 feet. In all, Mauna Loa is almost twice the height of Mount Everest. But above the water, these volcanoes have a low profile. They're called shield volcanoes. Generally, they are gently sloped, but what they lack in prominence they make up for in action. Since it emerged from the sea, Kilauea has not stopped erupting. It takes a tremendous amount of rock to build an island. Throughout its violent history, the eruptions occurred at either the top of the volcano or along the rift zones, which are lines of weakness that stretch from the summit through the flanks. Over and over, these eruptions send lava down its sides, creating giant floodplains.
There's a crack happening directly in front of the camera.
At their outdoor lab, Ken and Steve monitor and document the ever-changing landscape.
Kind of like I'm kneeling on a hot iron. A lot of other people that we're trying to communicate our ideas to haven't seen this.
Yeah, and it's quite a difficult concept to grasp when you hear it described in the abstract.
To try and get this on film and speed it up so people can really see it happen, it's a pretty good awakening even for us.
The lava varies in consistency. With a thin, smooth leading edge, this is a basalt lava flow called pahoehoe, a Hawaiian word used worldwide by volcanologists. Slowly advancing, its creeping toes are fed from above by fresh hot reserves of magma, which gush relentlessly from the vent and travel towards the sea.
Standing at the front of a pahoehoe flow, it's kind of deceiving because you get the feeling that not much is going on. The flow is moving so slowly at one particular place. But if you go around the whole front, it's very active around about 100 to 150 meters on this small flow. And you can see that every once in a while the flow will actually crack open and the hot lava that's inside will come back out. So this tells us that the entire inside of this flow is full of extremely hot lava.
Well, I'm getting pretty fried here. I think
Yeah.
I better get out of it, okay?
I agree.
Right.
Have you taken it yet?
Short break travel insurance from the post office.
My product, the body dryer, is going to make towels history.
As an apprentice, he was too much risk for Sir Alan Sugar.
I've got a fantastic concept.
I don't trust you. A product you've never sold. B, a product you don't have.
The design is flawed. Now his hotshot reputation is on the line.
There's nothing new about it.
He wasn't having any of it.
It's as new as my hairline.
Will Saeed fail or succeed?
I know there's a huge risk.
Saeed Ahmed, Hot Air, Tuesday at 10, Sky One.
B&Q with cooked up and irresistible offer. Now you can enjoy a mouth-watering third off all select kitchens. So how's that for starters? Get more out of your kitchen at B&Q.
The boxes are done up with this plastic strapping, which often gets left on the floor. I just caught my foot and went flying. My knee was too badly damaged to work, and I couldn't keep up with the rent.
If you had an accident, the National Accident Helpline could help you claim the compensation you deserve, and you'll keep 100% of it because the costs are recovered from the other side.
I got £8,000. And the plastic? Well, that's sorted.
Find out free if you can make a no-win, no-fee claim. Call 0800 556 557 now.
I'm an IT manager with benefits and a company car.
If you're underpaid and undervalued and want real career prospects, train for a career in computers with CompuTeach, one of the UK's leaders in IT training. Join thousands who left their old jobs behind. You don't need any qualifications or experience and can stay in your current job whilst you train in your own time. Our dedicated careers team will even help you find your first IT job. Change your life forever. More money, better prospects, better quality of life. Call CompuTeach now on 0800 657 657. Visit us online at computeach.co.uk or text CHANGE to 64118.
Today, we're searching for even cheaper car insurance. We all know it's a real jungle out there. It doesn't have to be. Elephant.co.uk specialises in cheaper car insurance on the internet. You can go online, get a quote in minutes. You could save loads. Ah! So, to see how much you could save, go straight to elephant.co.uk.
For even cheaper car insurance, it's elephant.co.uk.
For our hottest offers, get down to Land of Leather this weekend. Save $700 on this lovely 3-seater sofa and 2 recliner chairs, just $599 the lot. Save $700 on this stylish twin reclining corner units, just $799. Save over $1,700 on these 3- and 2-seater twin recliner sofas, just $599 the pair. For our hottest offers, get down to Land of Leather this weekend at a store near you.
Sky Movies Premiere is like your own private cinema, with 5 brand new films each week. So stay in and go to the movies with Sky Movies Premiere.
Have you taken it yet?
Short break travel insurance from the post office.
Another variety of lava found on Kilauea is called aha. By contrast to Pahoehoe, the lava flows in open channels. Portions of the exposed lava gradually cool, creating rough fragments called clinker. At the flow front, fed by a river of lava from behind, the clinker moves as if being pushed by a bulldozer. Though the lava has traveled many kilometers from the vent, it's still hot enough to incinerate anything in its path. Dr. Christina Helica and Kevin Kambibayashi are part of a team whose job it is to monitor the state of the lava flow. Working with the Volcano Observatory, they play a critical part in sampling and analyzing the composition of the magma, alerting them to the next eruptive episode. It's a rare and exciting opportunity to handle fresh lava as it first erupts from the molten core of the Earth.
Off. It's going to make it really hard to get a sample.
How deep do you think it is?
Well, it's a lot lower than 4 weeks ago.
So we're going to try and just drop down the hammerhead. So where do we want this?
Just put it right across here, and we'll throw it. Yeah, it can even be a little bit further downstream.
Floor?
Now, I got to warn you, because this is kind of a hairy setup, we may not be able to repeat this a million times.
The intense heat from the skylight instantly sets fire to the log.
Like if I get the hammer stuck, that's it.
That's hot.
A 4-pound hammerhead is the low-tech instrument of choice.
Okay, so how does that look?
You're floating like right above it. It's starting to tap it once in a while.
A sacrifice to Pele, the Hawaiian goddess of the volcano, was not on Christina's list of priorities. Working so close to molten lava means that one misplaced step could spell disaster.
You're about a foot. Bro, you skimming now. Okay, you got a chunk.
With a hefty chunk of lava on the line, they'll be able to capture a snapshot of the magma. Christina has only seconds to pull the lava sample out before the log burns up and falls into the pit.
We dip it into the water as quickly as we can to stop the crystallization, cool the lava, and catch it right into its pristine state.
The makeup of the magma is later analyzed in the laboratory, another key element used to warn of impending eruptions.
Lava flows actually do sometimes impinge on human habitation in places that people have lived for a long time. And we want to understand their mechanics better so that we can better prepare people, populations in areas at risk for either evacuation or possibly even some sort of diversion. If you want to see the world, how Pahoehoe flows see the world, get down on your stomach and crawl around and look at the topography, because that's what they're seeing. They just snake around on the surface looking for low areas to flow into.
Ken and Steve have made several interesting discoveries concerning the mechanics of lava flows, and on these giant lava floodplains, they can even predict its course of direction.
Doesn't look hot enough, so the hot stuff, so it takes amazingly little material to stop a Pahoehoe flow. So if you can put something in front of it that's about 6 inches and block off where it's going, it'll stop and inflate behind it. If you tried to divert lava around a town or something like that, the lava turns the low that you dig or the barrier you dig into a ridge. And so what it does is act to divert the next flow actually on the side of the ridge that you didn't want it to go on. We were able to stop the flow and able to make it inflate on the order of a couple of feet right in here. So we were able to get a really good shot on the time-lapse camera of a rapid inflation of a lava flow. And you can see it's just pouring into the hole right now.
Back at his studio, Ken uses video to help unravel the mystery of the volcano. With his wife Cheryl, also a volcanologist, they are studying how lava flows inflate.
Flooded lava, where they've come together, they've coalesced, and they're all inflating.
Video gives us a really unique opportunity to try and capture some of these processes on film for other people to see. I've really had the experience when you write a paper or try to describe in words or with a few simple graphs or something like that, that it's really difficult for people to get the idea of how lava flows actually move. Okay, this is a perfect place to see the early stages of a Pahoehoe flow inflate. The little toes are ballooning up. As long as I keep their distance from my camera, we're getting pretty close here. But the heat's not too bad once they start to crystallize, so I'm counting on this little ridge to stop the Pahoehoe and start it inflating.
Ken's time-lapse photography reveals how the lava really behaves. On the seemingly gentle slopes of Kilauea, the lava flows roll out and inflate like giant balloons. In a matter of hours, this area is inundated with several feet of lava.
Well, that's not too bad a shot. So what I'm hoping to do with the video is get this idea of how the lava inflates like this. And unfortunately, you can only get the first, 10 or 20 minutes before the lava overruns your camera. I'm gonna have to get that out of there. So the camera is still recording, which is good. It just smells a little bad right now from the plastic and stuff getting overheated. But it's good that it's recording, so it survived that one. Yeah, and if it gets too hot for you near the flow, just unplug
Right.
and leave this someplace safe.
Yeah, because you'll have the...
Because I may have to go a little further into the flow than you want to be next to the flow dressed like that.
Okay.
Lava continues to flow over the region and around the old Hawaiian village of Kalapana, now buried under 80 feet of rock. For Ken, this is an ideal setting to study the dynamics of an active volcano. By measuring, observing, and taking temperature samples, he has been able to develop a formula for predicting the path of the lava flow and how long it will take to reach the surrounding villages. Years of experience working on the crusted surface have honed his instincts. It's a tricky and potentially dangerous maneuver.
Still a little soft. Can't quite walk on it yet.
He waits until a thick enough crust is formed over the molten lava to hold his weight.
So what we're trying to do is get inside the lava flow and get the stable temperature inside, so as the lava flow inflates, we can see what kind of cooling takes on deep inside of the lava.
An insulated suit buys Ken more time, but will do little to protect him if he breaks through the crust.
God. You do have to have a love of heat. Without anything on my face, just standing at a distance behind Ken, it's, yeah, I mean, I can feel my face burning.
That's a good one.
It's going up, yeah.
It's pretty warm in here, but I think we've got this one locked in probably about 10 centimeters down. So this will read the temperature of the actual lava in here once it gets stabilized.
Even miles from the erupting vent, the lava is 1,072 degrees Celsius, 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, as hot as when it first emerged from the center of the Earth. As a result of this work, scientists are now able to give residents notice of when and where the lava will travel, time enough to evacuate people and homes. In 1980, Mount St. Helens surprised volcanologists by the magnitude of its eruption. Blast waves traveling at 480 kilometers per hour flattened the surrounding forest. The volcano continued to spew for 9 hours with the force of 27,000 Hiroshima bombs.
Kilauea erupts explosively about as often as does Mount St. Helens.
Because thousands of tourists visit Kilauea every year, there is a perception that it is relatively safe. But Don Swanson's studies reveal that Kilauea has the potential to be highly explosive.
One of the things that we have to worry about at Kilauea is a renewed collapse of the caldera floor. There have been times in the past, and certainly times in the future, in which the floor out here that we can see just drops several hundred meters. If the collapse is enough, water moves in from the sides, out of the water table, and forms a caldera lake.
When explosive gases have reached critical pressure within a volcano, a massive explosion follows.
During these periods when there's caldera collapse, then the danger is increased dramatically.
The resulting explosion from the caldera collapse would be enough to blow the top off the island.
In our normal frame of thinking, St. Helens is a much more explosive volcano. Now, it has more powerful explosions, although some of Kilauea's have been quite large too. But in terms of the frequency of activity, Kilauea and St. Helens track one another quite closely.
And Don Swanson should know. Armed only with a camera, he became witness to one of the most spectacular eruptions in history, demonstrating that Kilauea is capable of many surprises. We saw huge lava falls cascading into pit craters.
This one was more than 100 meters high. In fact, probably closer to 200 meters high. Really like a Niagara Falls, a very broad cascade of lava just falling into a lava crater.
The eruption began in the early hours of May the 24th, 1969. A curtain of fire erupted into the air and spawned the dramatic lava falls.
So those are really dramatic events. And looking back on it, just it's just amazing that I was there to see them.
Have you taken it yet?
Short break travel insurance from the post office.
Your knee bone connected to your ankle bone, your ankle bone connected to your leg bone, your leg bone connected to the knee bone, your knee bone connected to your thigh bone, your thigh bone connected to your hip bone, your hip bone connected to your backbone connected to your shoulder bone, the shoulder bone connected to your neck bone, the neck bone connected to your head bone.
The Best of Bone starts Wednesday from 9, Sky 3.
Admiral!
Hey, Kate, what's up?
I've got to sort out my car insurance and my husband's.
Multi-car! Multi-car! Sounds like you need Admiral Multi-Car. Insure both cars on one policy and you could save over £200.
£200? Wow!
And the saving starts straight away.
We can go on that holiday now.
2 or more cars in your house. See how much you could save with Admiral Multi-Car.
Thinking about a change of career? The Instructor College needs people just like you to train as driving instructors.
I did. Now I'm earning £30,000.
You don't even have to give up work to do the training, which is great.
And at the end of it, you get a guaranteed placement in a driving school.
Working the hours you choose.
All you need is a driving licence to start. So call the Instructor College free on 0500 17 0017 and get your £30,000 career on the road.
With Orange, you get the black Nokia N73 on Dolphin Pay monthly. You also get 600 minutes to anyone, anytime, as well as unlimited texts and home broadband, all for only £35 a month. Only at orange.co.uk/today, or give us a call on 0800 0790 430.
To celebrate 50 years of being there for you, Spa brings you these special offer golden deals. Budweiser bottles 10 for $5.99. And Bird's Eye 100% beef quarter pounders 4-pack $1.33. Spa, there for you for 50 years.
Never come between a woman and Heat magazine.
Exclusive, the full behind-the-scenes story of Emily's eviction, plus Heat's Bikini Awards.
We all have a credit report. Yours could determine whether you get a yes or no when applying for credit and the rate of interest you pay. So if you're looking for a mortgage or home improvement loan, a new car, credit card or mobile phone, will the answer be yes or no? Credit Expert from Experian lets you access your credit report online, helping you get the yes you want. Take control of your credit history today. Visit creditexpert.co.uk now for your free 30-day trial.
The whole ship is talking mutiny.
The creators of The Apprentice bring high stakes to the high seas.
I'm not buying it. I'm rewarding it.
Pirate Master. Sunday at 8 and every 15 minutes via Multistart on Sky One.
Have you taken it yet?
Short break travel insurance from the post office.
Each day, Kilauea pumps 3 million pounds of sulfur dioxide into the air, enough to fill 100 Goodyear blimps. Volcanic smog poses a serious threat to the inhabitants and visitors of this island. Toxic metals and acidic particles cause extreme respiratory problems. Dr. Tamar Elias' assignment is to monitor and report on toxic emissions.
Yeah, one of these skylights.
Looks like the vent is pretty active. Looks like emissions are pretty steady from the last time we were out here. It's probably up around 2,000 tons a day like it usually is. It's a nice consolidated plume, so it'll be really perfect for coastal conditions. We're out here to measure the sulfur dioxide emissions from the active eruptive site.
Not as high as the other one.
This eruptive site, the vent and the surrounding area, it's the largest stationary source of sulfur dioxide in the U.S. People on the leeward side of the island are exposed to the volcanic pollution. And it turns out that the particulate loading is pretty high over there. We see sulfate levels that are comparable with Los Angeles.
Downwind of the vent, it is like the surface of an alien planet. All life is choked out. Without respirators, toxic sulfur fumes will turn to acid on contact with moisture in the lungs. Their measuring emissions is further complicated by the difficulty in working in such a corrosive environment.
All the yellow that's on the ground is sulfur buildup, and it's really soft to walk on because it's already eaten through the rocks. I've got holes in my jeans from it eating through pretty much everything.
And it eats away the bottoms of your shoes as well. You can't really tell, but I have no tread left on my boots, really.
For some volcanologists, the gases pouring from Kilauea is forewarning of a greater threat, a threat that could wipe out all life on Earth.
The environmental impact of volcanoes is widespread when you consider that the volcanoes can put up into the atmosphere enormous amounts of gas.
Steve believes there is a potential relationship between volcanic eruptions and mass extinction of life on Earth.
It's a very intriguing problem. How could two seemingly unassociated events, mass extinctions of life and volcanic eruptions, possibly have an effect on each other? Everybody's heard of the meteorite impact that occurred at about 65 million years. And people are thinking that this was important in the mass extinctions that occurred at that time. But there's the role for volcanism as well.
Simultaneous to the meteorite impact, a massive lava eruption was occurring, an event that affected the climate on a global scale.
The dinosaurs died out about 65 million years ago, and that's exactly the same time as these lava fields were forming in India, the Deccan traps. In these eruptions, hundreds to thousands of enormous lava flows were formed. Many, many, many times bigger, 2 or 3 orders of magnitude bigger than the lava flows we find in Hawaii.
The Deccan eruption covered 500,000 square kilometers of western India. If spread out, enough lava to cover the entire planet in a layer 1 meter thick. The millions of tons of toxic gases released into the atmosphere would have a devastating effect to life on Earth. Could it happen again today?
Such conditions have only occurred when these vast lava provinces were produced. They're not normal for now, or even for the past few centuries. So nobody's yet done models to be able to predict what the effects on climate would be. But you can bet your bottom dollar that they'd be really awful. We could expect probably long periods of reduced radiation, which would lead to worse climate, colder conditions, but we really don't know exactly what the effects would be on animals, plants living on the surface of the Earth.
When an environmental disaster strikes on a catastrophic scale, we invariably ask why. While volcanoes are the force that creates new land and new agricultural possibilities, they also have the potential to bring enormous destruction to almost every corner of the world. The power of the force beneath them cannot be ignored. Disaster looms when humans draw near.
Explosive eruptions that create a lot of ash, which falls widely over volcanic regions, tend to produce very high nutrient soils, and therefore we find some of the most productive agricultural regions of Earth are near volcanoes. These rich agricultural prospects, of course, bring in populations, which mean that people live near volcanoes, which increases the risk from volcanic hazards. But that's how our world works.
As long as people live near volcanoes, the dangerous dance goes on for the firewalkers. Clearly, the research on Kilauea has been a great success.
Wow, Steve, take a look at this. Wow, that is really amazing.
And these scientists will continue to travel to the farthest reaches of the planet, probing for new clues, new signs that will warn us of potential danger. Perched on the cusp of disaster, they act as watchmen for the world. Our eyes and ears on the edge of these dangerous and unpredictable mountains of fire.
Is an ordinary family from Lincolnshire actually related to the Duke of Marlborough? At the very least, they get an invite to tea from Earl Spencer in So You Think You're Royal tonight at 9. Then at 10, the curtain goes up on Badger or Bust.
Have you taken it yet? Ariel? What are you doing? Oh, no.
Short break travel insurance from the Post Office. Sponsors of the world of sky travel.
Winged Foot 2006.
I should have won that yourself.
So near.
I just hit the wrong club at the last.
Yet so far.
We'll come back and we'll try again.
Today, Colin Montgomery tees off in pursuit of that elusive first major.
This is what it's all about.
But many aim to deny him. Live on Sky Sports, the 107th US Open in association with the Royal Bank of Scotland. To join in, call 08702 407 726.
Have yourself a little me time with the luxurious fragrance of Bold 2-in-1 crushed silk and jasmine liquid tabs. Bold 2-in-1 liquid tabs, part of the fabric of life.
I was round here for a cuppa with Mum the other week, and we were talking property prices. All Mum's money's tied up in this house. She couldn't believe how much it had gone up. She thought it was daft, that it was worth all that money, yet she still didn't have the cash to enjoy life a bit now she's retired. I told her to talk to the Pru. They've a flexible way to turn the value of your house into good, hard cash. It can make life a bit more comfortable, I said. And don't worry, you won't have to move. But it'll cut down your inheritance, she said. Life is for living, Mum, I said.
If you're a homeowner over 60, call 0800 345 7008 for your free, no-obligation information pack.
So now she's in Oz, visiting my brother. Oh, I don't mind being left behind. But 3 weeks with Snowdrop.
Call 0800 345 7008. It's all part of the plan from the Pru.
This week on the History Channel, we hear the voices of the Falklands conflict.
It was petrifying, and I remember trying to sleep, and every time a bomb went off, actually physically lifting.
It felt very, very cold-blooded to go in and just drop bombs on people.
It's quite strange being back, because it really doesn't hold any horrors for me.
Falklands Week, all this week on the History Channel.
Coming up, a Sky Travel Shop commercial presentation.
Hello and welcome to Sky Travel Shop. Now, as a mum, I know how knackering it can be taking the kids away for a nice, relaxing break. Frankly, you need a holiday afterwards to get over it. Well, Sky Travel Shop have brought me here to take a look at an idea that promises to take the hassle out of the family holiday. Thomson Super Family is designed to give parents and kids a fun, relaxing break. And here are some of the features that they offer. You've got Kids Zone, you've got Evening Kids Zone, drop-in centres, creches, swimming lessons, the grid, that's for teenagers, and the list, well, it just goes on and on. Well, I'm going to bin the brochure and find out what it's really like. To find out more, I spoke to the Griffiths family. There's Nanny Faye and Grandad Bernie, Mum Heather, Dad Alan, and the 3 children, Emily who's 8, Holly who's 5, and little Max who's just 2.5.